All right, it's go time. Go time. All right. It's time to learn how to grill, right? Okay. Here, guys, come a little closer. Everyone's so far away, I can't. It's like, you know, they'll sit back there. All right. So real quickly, for those of you whom I don't know, which is not many, probably just one, my name is Scott Hornick, and I come from the restaurant industry before doing Herbalife. And so I've been super blessed over the years to have an opportunity to work with a ton of amazing chefs and very talented people that really taught me so many incredible things that have allowed me to now take food and take healthy recipes or take non-healthy recipes and make them healthy. And a couple things I believe about food is, number one, it should be sexy, because if it doesn't look good, I'm not interested. You know, like, that's just how it is. Number two, it should taste as amazing as it looks. Because also, you know, when I came from the restaurant business, like, we made amazing food, stuff that was incredible, but obviously most often at a very high calorie expense, at a very low nutritional value to what we were putting in our body. And so now we've been able to take and change that. And so our intention with the Healthy Grilling class is, number one, if you have questions, if you have anything, just ask, like, no problem. We intend for this to be interactive and fun. Number two is to really give you some foundational skills about grilling in general that are going to help you be a better griller. I think it's a word. I don't know. I make up words. So that's that. And real quickly, you know, a lot of you obviously know about the results recipe, but this is all part of it. You know, the results are all about 20% fitness. You just did that with boot camp. 80% nutrition, which isn't just having our amazing shakes for breakfast, for lunch, or snacks, or however you use them to get your goals, but also the eating part of it. You know, I mean, we have to eat. We have to eat a lot, and a lot of clean food. And so this is part of that 80%. And then the 100% mindset and zero excuses is just making that decision that when you grill, when you cook, you're going to do it healthy. And these are just another added ways of doing that. So real quick, my story before Herbalife, obviously, little extra hair and belly, got rid of both. And it was amazing. You know, I was riding my bike, working out all the time, and I had access to eating pretty clean. I mean, I had chefs making all my food, but I didn't have enough knowledge and education to know what was good and what was bad. I thought I was doing well at times. I was only eating twice a day. Funny enough, of course, I had a little extra scenario going on. So for me, in a short period of time, just shifting my nutrition, not only did I lose 25 pounds, but I gained muscle, speed, confidence. Like, I never wanted to go to the freaking pool with my kids, you know, before, like, or I did, and I always wear a shirt, and I was like, it's because I'm really pale, I don't want to burn, you know? Come on now. I was just scared to take it off. So, you know, it's been so amazing. I mean, for me, I've been so blessed that, you know, I started doing this just very part-time, helping people get the results I got, and now this is what I do. So I'm going to share with you some little skills, some little ideas today. And I also have two other amazing coaches amongst us that have done the very same thing, and I'm really excited for them to share their stories. So first off, it's Kaylani going to share her story about the 20/80/100.
Yeah. Don't steal that. So. Call me maybe. So let's see. I started 5 months ago, and I was just very low on energy. Didn't really know anything that was going on, how to cook in general too. So I got together with my coach after I saw him at my restaurant, because I'm a waitress now still, and I eat way better than everybody else there. So pat on my back. Yes. I bring my dinners, everybody laughs, but I know it's because I'm getting my 80% nutrition, and I feel better, and I'm not lagging throughout my day trying to help people get their nutrition right too. So like I said, I didn't know how to cook at the beginning. I didn't know what to do, what to buy. The grocery store scared the heck out of me. I was like, do I go down the fast aisle, or do I actually get the right proteins, veggies, bright colored things that scare me? So like I said, I am currently up 4 pounds of muscle.
Boom!
Woo! And just to pay it forward, I've taken 2 of my most recent clients on a shopping trip, and we have the most fun. I have them show me what they're eating from before to what they're eating now, and they couldn't be more happier. And they have the best results they're looking for right now. So
Awesome. Nice job. Woo! Okay, one other amazing lady who's living it. Being a single mom, definitely not easy. I know time's a premium for all of us. And she is always doing it. I love seeing her wake and shake, doing her shake in the morning, meal prepping, getting ready for her week and cooking in advance. So I'm super excited to have Rachel come up and share her story. Give it up. Woo!
Hi everybody, I'm Rachel. So I started my Herbalife nutrition plan in January. Before that, I had a pretty good idea of what to eat. I knew the structure. You're supposed to eat about 5-6 times a day. But being a single mom working full time, it's really hard to prepare meals and snacks 5-6 times a day. And I would get to the point where I'd run out of time and.
You're being recorded. Oh, hi. How you doing?
All right. So I would give in to the temptation, and my son begging me for food, and I didn't prepare in advance, so I would buy fast food, and just wasn't getting any results, going up and down a lot. I started with Herbalife in January. I'm down 20 pounds now.
Yeah, woo!
And a really big part of that is having the accountability that goes along with the structure, but also learning how to meal prep has been huge for me, because now I do all of my meals on one day, Sunday, and then throughout the rest of the week, there's no temptation because I have my food right there ready to go. And in doing that for myself, I got in the habit of doing it for my son as well. So I've got his snacks ready, I've got his meals ready, and I don't feel tempted to drive through somewhere or order pizza or any of that. So
awesome, good job. I love seeing it in action. Makes me so excited. So first thing I want to do is share some basics about growing, because like anything, if we don't have the basics down, it doesn't matter if I give you a cool, healthy recipe. It's like, if we don't know what the foundation is, it doesn't matter. So have you ever had your chicken look like this when you're picking it up off the grill? Right? Like you make this beautiful rub, this amazing marinade, and you put it on, you pull it up, and like just all that flavor and love sticks to the grill. Right? We've all been there, okay? So we got to prepare our grill for cooking. We got to prepare our space. Number one thing you do. So always, always clean your grill. If your grill is not clean, it's not a good surface to cook on. Secondarily, one super simple trick, and this makes a big difference, is using oil to prepare your grill. So when I'm about to put anything on the grill, I'm always using a little bit of paper towel, or I have some rags that I use just for grilling, and I take them and I dip them in some oil, and I buy inexpensive olive oil. I'll show you what that looks like here in a second, but I take it and I rub my grill, which is going to pick up all the little particulates and the carbon. So it also doesn't leave that on there, but it also seasons the grill and gets it ready to receive the meat and not to allow it to stick. So every time I'm putting something on there, boom, rubbing it on, makes it super simple and keeps things from sticking. So trick number one. Also, well, I was going to show my oil. Yeah. So real quick here, what I really like to use when I'm doing it is not an extra virgin olive oil. So extra virgin olive oil and some of the really high-end oils that are first presses that are darker in color, they have a low flash point. And what that means is that they burn at a much lower temperature. So like an extra light olive oil, which is a later pressing and much less expensive, it doesn't burn at the same temperature. So just like when you put coconut oil in a pan, if you've ever done it on a really hot pan, if you use a gas grill, flame up, okay? It's a low flash point. So we want to consider oils that are not low flash point, have a high flash point. So an extra light is what I use for that. So really simple. The next most important thing is everything needs salt and pepper. Okay, I'll share with you real quickly. The first fight my wife and I ever got in was over salt and pepper. And maybe that sounds weird to you, but to me it made sense. And so what happened was she made eggs. She was being so awesome. She made eggs. I came down and, made me breakfast for the first time. I'm like, what did you put in these? She's like, nothing. I'm like, exactly. Like, you can't freaking just cook an egg. Egg needs salt and pepper. It needs flavor. So I encourage you not to get in fights and use salt and pepper.
just use salt and pepper.
Yeah. Okay. So chicken breast versus thighs. What do you think? Chicken breast versus thighs. Why?
White meat.
Oh, we're gonna be racist? It's gonna be a racial thing? Man, go there real quick. Tell me, what do you think?
The leaner meat.
Leaner meat? Okay, what else?
More meat per pound.
A little bit, yeah. What if we also considered how much more expensive is chicken breast than thigh?
Substantially.
Like, if you're buying natural good products, which I like to as often as possible, you're talking about like $3 to $4 a pound on an organic chicken thigh versus like $9, $10 a pound on the chicken breast. Okay, so when grilling, this is the one time that you can use higher fat meats, and the reason is that those fats leach down and burn off into the grill. So even if it has a much higher starting point in terms of fat, you lose a lot of that into the grill when they're cooking. That's why you see those flames, everything. That fat literally melts off. So even if you're cutting some of it off to start, that's awesome. But after that, the rest of it burns off, melts off. So you can use a more affordable meat when cooking. And just to give you a couple examples, so this is how it starts. You're exactly right. Higher calorie, higher fat. The difference is substantial. So never, I never cook thigh in a pan ever. Ever. It just doesn't make any sense. But I do grill a lot of thighs. Thighs are amazing when they're grilled, and they're very succulent as well. They also cook very quickly, but something to consider. When I'm meal prepping and I'm making a bunch of stuff, man, it's really affordable to use thighs. So I use breast too. I use whenever I feel like my family particularly likes chicken breast over thighs. So obviously if you have a preference, no big deal, but do know that thighs are a good thing to grill. And again, when you do grill them, all that fat, all that, bad stuff naturally comes into the grill. Okay, grilling versus baking. Common mistake. So a lot of people, when they're grilling, they shut that grill. And if you've noticed the dial on your grill before, how hot does it get when it's closed? Yeah, 500, 600, 700 degrees. Like, that's freaking hot. Do you ever bake things even that hot? No. So why the frick do you close your grill and burn all your stuff and dry it out? Right? And we've all done it. Like, we've all got chicken like that, and we're like, oh, that's chicken. Chicken breast, really cooked. That's not a picture of my chicken breast. I got it off the internet. But this is a reality, right? So it's super important that we understand, like, how to use a grill properly. And there are times when you want to close a grill and you do want a little bit of a baking effect. But if you always put your stuff in there, for example, a steak, you throw your steak in there, you close it, man, it gets overcooked so dang fast. So dang fast. Same with chicken, same with everything. And you don't allow it the time to caramelize your meat, because the flame is what caramelizes the meat, which adds so much flavor. So if you're baking it, keeping it closed, you don't get a lot of caramelization, a lot of grill marks and texture to it. You just kind of bake it, and it overcooks quickly. So that's super important. And the last thing is timing is everything. Timing is everything in life in general, but especially when it comes to cooking. One of my biggest mistakes when I first started cooking many, many years ago was that my timing sucked. So for example, I would be making a meal and I would make noodles at the same time as I'm cooking my meat. How fast do noodles cook, right? Like just a couple minutes. How unintelligent, because they would keep cooking and they were mush and nasty. And by the time I made my meat, then I still was cooking my sauce and reducing it, and then everything was done long before I had the sauce done. So learning the timing of things is really, really, really important, and especially for grilling. So a couple things. Onions. When we grill onions take a long time. Same thing when you cook them in a pan or anything. Onions take more time. So cooking your onions first, putting them on the grill first is really important. So you're cooking onions, start them first. Peppers. Slow or fast? Super fast. Okay? Almost the last thing you put on. If you're cooking peppers, they take no time. And if you have a little olive oil on them, again, this is where you can use more olive oil to marinate with things, because it's all going to burn off. It's all going to heat up and leach off. But as that flavor keeps them from sticking, you can throw it on there and put them on a hot spot. They'll be done in, no joke, 2 minutes. Okay? So don't throw everything on at the same time. It does not make sense. Leeks. Anyone ever do leeks? Missing out.
What is a leek?
Leek is in the onion family, and they are amazing. They don't have the same edge as onions. They're a beautiful vegetable with lots of fiber. They're amazingly flavorful. You'll see a lot of fancy upscale restaurants use leeks in a lot of different dishes. They'll melt leeks, and leeks are incredible. They're the big thing at the store that you see that's like white at the base. It looks like a big scallion.
Okay.
White at the base, dark green, and it fans out with this like super
Awesome.
aloe plant type leaves that are amazing. So you split them down the middle. They're incredible. They take a lot longer to cook. So again, giving them the time that they need. Shrimp, slow or fast? Super fast. Okay, don't overcook shrimp. Overcooked shrimp is sad. It's already dead. You don't have to kill it so many times. Yes.
Slow or fast?
Slow.
Okay.
Yep. Asparagus, slow or fast?
Fast. Medium?
Fast.
Fast.
So many people overcook asparagus and then it's stringy and gross. And the other thing too to consider, when we are meal prepping, everything that I cook when I'm meal prepping, 100% of everything, I undercook. I undercook my meat. I undercook my vegetables, everything, because if I'm going to microwave it and heat it up again, I know that it's going to cook more. So think about that. Like if you're making dinner, awesome, make it perfectly. But if you're going to be meal prepping, undercook your veggies a little. Undercook, your meats a little bit, because you know they're going to cook more. One of the worst things is like you're all excited you made this amazing steak and it's medium rare, it's beautiful, whatever, however you like your steak. Then you heat it up in the microwave and it's freaking well. And you're like, oh gosh, what do I do there? Okay, so undercook your veggies. And veggies should be al dente. They should still be alive. They should still have bite and texture to them. Asparagus goes super quickly. So I throw my asparagus on. I have a little bit of olive oil, salt, and pepper. And then all I do, God bless you, is I use my hand and I physically roll it back just a little bit. And then literally 2-3 minutes, asparagus is done. Boom, boom. And I'll put it on asparagus after I start plating my meats or other things. Because again, now I have the grill space, because a lot of times our grill won't accommodate everything that we're cooking for everybody all at once. Yes?
Are you adjusting your heat for the different things that you cook?
No, I cook everything personally on high heat. Everything, because I want caramelization. The only thing I modulate is if I need to cook something a little more and I'm worried about the timing of it, I'll close the lid. Like let's say my chicken I notice is not quite as cooked as I want if it's a big thick breast. Which often what I'll do is I'll actually butterfly a breast. I'll cut it in half, open it up so that I can put it directly on the hot heat, get a nice sear to it, but finish it quickly. Because for me, when I cook, I'm coming home after fit camp. I'm coming home late. And even like the other night, like you would text me, hey, you okay? I mean, I'd already made dinner. I've been gone from here for like no time. I went home, chopped up the stuff, prepped it. My meals for the family, I made some spicy chicken, Italian sausage, delicious love, was done in like, seriously, no 10 minutes. I don't take a lot of time to cook. So that's a great question, but I always personally, I like high heat because I want caramelization. Yes, sir.
Like, you turn it on, it's like,
Mhm.
you leave it at
Correct. Yep. And this is what I do.
You burn it.
No, you won't. No, because if you leave your grill open, you won't. And you stand there like grilling is sexy too. Like I think my wife likes when I'm out there grilling. Like, hey, what are you doing? Like so. Standing out there, enjoying myself. It's a beautiful day. Like, and the smells and the sounds, like it's awesome. And so you're right there to attend to it when you're there, and you won't burn it. If you close it and put it in there, done. The other thing you can do too is get a little spray bottle, fill it with water. It's only for grilling. And when you get little flames that come up from your marinade or from a little bit higher fat meat like thigh, you can spray a little bit of water. I don't like the laser spray. I like somewhere in between, and it'll calm down the flames and you won't burn stuff. And you'll find, you just got to try it out like anything. First couple times you try something, it doesn't always work so great, but you get better at it and you learn and you improve. Okay. Very important for outdoor dining. Who likes to eat on their patio, right? Oh my gosh, so awesome. Okay. Hot food, you want it to be hot. Cold food, you want it to be cold. So when I consider my plates, I apply the same thing. So first of all, I buy super affordable plates at Target. I just buy the thick, affordable plates at Target. Like they're pretty. They're perfect canvas for me plating my artwork on, okay? And the other thing I do is when I'm having hot food, I put them in my oven, okay? My kids know since they're little, having gone to Del Fresco's and other restaurants, when you receive your steak and it's on that sizzling hot plate and it's like that's freaking awesome. And when you're sitting outside, you can take time to dine. You can take time to enjoy your meal because your hot food is going to stay hot. You have it sitting there on a hot plate. I heat up my plates at 400 degrees. My patio table is a metal table, so it's not a big deal when I do that on my glass table. And it's important to talk about. Like my dining room table is glass. I put down napkins first and I lay the hot plate on it because it's hot. Like that freaking glass, it would not be a good experience. But my kids know, like, you don't freaking touch a plate. It's going to burn you. So same thing on the inverse end in the afternoon or in a hot evening. If I'm having a salad, I'm going to have cold plates. Throw them in the freezer for a little bit. Like, it's awesome. It's so cool. Having things done appropriately. If you want to really be classy, throw that fork in there for the salad. It's so hot. Anyway, hey, or cold, whatever. Okay, so recipe ideas. What can you grill?
Anything.
Who said that? You get bonus points. Everything. You can grill everything. Like, seriously, there's not a lot of stuff you can't grill. I get super excited about grilling. So first thing we're talking about is grilling veggies. This is quite possibly the fastest, easiest, least amount of work of anything for you to do. When you saute veggies, often you have to cut them up into small little pieces, do all kinds of stuff. It just, a little more work is required to do veggies. And when you're grilling them, number one, you don't want them small or they're going to fall through. You want a much bigger surface area. So it's super fast. So grilling veggies, I love to grill literally most every veggie, but it can be anything. I always go, those of you who have been to my healthy cooking classes before and gone shopping with me, I only buy what's on sale. Like what's on sale and seasonal, that's really it. I don't go and buy the crazy stuff. I just buy what's on sale. And so anything you can cook, zucchini, squash, peppers, onions, you name it, you can cook it. You can grill romaine. Taking a piece of romaine, make a grilled Caesar salad. Like, it's freaking delicious. Throw some olive oil on there. Awesome. Use our yogurt Caesar dressing that I've showed you guys. Like, amazing. So that's one thing. And here's a little example of some of my veggie grilling. I do have chicken in the background, just as a bonus. But, this, and again, about 15 minutes total from the time that I started to the time that I finished. I got home. I had my veggies. I lopped off the end of my asparagus. I cut off the faces of the peppers, and I just split my zucchini down the end after cutting the ends. And there's a leek right there. Oh, love the leeks. And then I put these on. So how I did this, my kids eat corn. I don't eat as much because there's just no nutritional value. It's just a starch. So I had thrown on the corn first while I was getting other stuff ready because corn takes a lot longer to cook. I had then thrown on my onions, and I got those going along with some chicken breasts. Thighs cook faster, so I started it that way, and the leeks. So I got all that going, and then I came back, and you can see these have no grill marks. I'd thrown on the zucchini. I threw on the peppers last minute, and I threw on my chicken thighs. And then by the time I'm finishing everything, roll the asparagus. It's all done. It's all done together because I just worked my timing out, okay? And here's what it looked like when I got done. Just delicious grilled vegetables and chicken, and the flavors were amazing. It was so funny. We had some really affluent clients here in at the club that eat at all kinds of nice restaurants, and he was smelling my food, so I brought him over some bites, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing! Like, where'd you get that?" I'm like, "Oh, I grilled it," and he couldn't fathom that some olive oil, garlic, salt, pepper, and parsley could taste that amazing. But simple is best. Simple things, good ingredients are what make everything so amazing. So that's one thing. Ooh. Grill avocado. Amazing. Okay?
So good.
Seriously. All right, avocado is high in what? Fat. Okay? Fat is flavor. Fat is rich. Also, fat when it heats up is like incredible. You got to try avocado hot. It's freaking ridiculous. When we were just in Hawaii on the Herbalife vacation, it didn't suck. And we had this, it was fried, but it was hot. This beautiful tempura fried avocado. And it was just so amazing because it just melts in your mouth when it's hot. And here you can kind of scoop it out. You can put different things inside. One thing I love doing is doing a crab salad inside. And so, near the seafood department, there's always a little area where there's like cured salmon, other things, and there's bags of crab meat. It's just pulled, it's just crab meat. Super great products. Depending on your budget, you can buy different levels. There's like jumbo lump, lump, and then back fin, and they're all good products. So just pick whatever fits into your budget. And it's so easy. You can mix it with a little Greek yogurt, which Greek yogurt is high in acid, high in protein. So you don't need to add a lot of lemon or other things to that element of it. You can add in some onions. You can add in whatever you want into it, a little parsley. But it doesn't need a lot to be amazing. You know, you put that on the inside, so cold with hot. Oh, angels start singing, it's amazing. So, a couple simple ideas. Grilled fruit. Okay, who has grilled fruit in here? What have you grilled? Pineapple?
Pineapple.
Pineapple? Anyone grilled anything else?
Peaches. I've grilled peaches.
Ooh, grilled peaches.
Strawberries. I'm just kidding.
I haven't tried it. You got maybe that's a good thing. I haven't. All right. So grilled peaches. Grilled peaches are amazing. Amazing. So number one, remember that the peaches are gonna reduce as they cook. They're gonna soften. So make sure they're big enough. I ended up losing a couple pieces in my grill because I made them a little too small. This is the first time I grilled peaches, and it was freaking ridiculous. So what happens is they bring out a little bit more sweetness. I did olive oil and I did a little bit of honey to caramelize the outside of it faster. But I did it on a very high heat. It added a depth of flavor that was just amazing. Okay, and you can take this and put this in a drink with a little bit of aloe and soda water and make a sparkling beverage too to match up to whatever you're doing. But grilled peaches are amazing. Then you can do them with a salad. Here you see it with a little tuna, fresh tuna. You can buy that Soku block tuna, which is cold smoked. It's the frozen stuff that you can get at like Sam's Club or Costco that's super bright pink and red. It's not as dark red as like a fresh tuna because it's cold smoked, but it's awesome. You thought they come in little individually cryovac bags and just chop it up. That's it. So simple. Okay, not a lot of ingredients. A little bit of spinach, parsley, tuna, blueberries, peaches. That's it. Okay, grilled pineapple. So grilled pineapple is amazing. What do you do when you grill pineapple after that? What do you do with it?
Eat it.
Okay, well, what else could you do?
It's just kebabs.
Great on kebabs. I love it. What else?
Chicken.
Go with chicken. Like especially Asian flavors. I love it with teriyaki. What about
Who makes
if?
it past the grill?
What if you? Yeah, I'm sampling it. There's only one piece left. What if you made a salad out of it? What if you grilled some onions and some peppers and you chopped up some fresh tomatoes? What if you just did that? Threw a little chicken on top of it. You know, what if you threw in a little avocado? Like, you can just have fun. The thing about cooking in general, and the biggest thing I promote is I don't believe in recipes. I think recipes cost you a lot of money. I think recipes are very limiting. I believe in theories and concepts. So the concept here is what? Colorful. I love colorful because that always makes me happy. And it gives you a lot of different nutritional spectrums, and it's sexy. So that is the number one thing, sexy. Okay, number two is like, take your, grilled pineapple and just make a salad, whatever you have. I mean, I'll use cucumbers, zucchini, squash, like whatever it is I have. It doesn't have to be this. It's just like grilled pineapple is the backbone. Mango in a salad is the backbone, like whatever I choose.
On your salads, what kind of dressing? Are you using like a vinaigrette? You use
On these, I use very little because there's so much flavor from what you're doing, like the peaches have so much flavor. I'll probably make my own dressing. Actually, I can show you what I do
when
to
you
make
grill,
dressing.
you lose a lot of the juices.
Not as much as you'd think, because it goes pretty quick. And then also when you heat it up, those juices are more available in the fruit. So even if you macerate a little bit, like compress a little bit into a bowl and make a little dressing, add a little olive oil and some Dijon mustard, wow, like done. And if it's not something that has a lot of acid, then you could add some lemon. Grilling lemons is incredible, or you could add a little vinegar. But if it's a fruit with a higher acid level, like to me pineapple, I don't feel like I need a lot of acid to brighten the dish. Grilled watermelon. Okay, watermelon is amazing. It's inexpensive, it's colorful, it makes everything look good. So really, you gotta grill some watermelon. You just have to do it. I mean, there's not really a choice.
You have no option.
Yeah. I mean, if we're gonna have another conversation ever again, before I want you to text me a photo of you in the grill and the watermelon. So here's like one with a little pistachio, a pistachio pesto over the top. But like, again, you could buy a little bit of pesto. You could do anything. It's just watermelon. A vinaigrette's great. Balsamic is great with watermelon. The other day I did a watermelon and avocado and strawberry salad with a little balsamic vinaigrette, like simple, Just a couple ingredients, beautiful colors, made me happy. You can use some sprouts or some microgreens if you have those available. If you go to Whole Paycheck, you can get those there, Whole Foods, call Whole Paycheck. So here's one that I found that I really was excited about. So this is halloumi. Halloumi is a cheese, but what I considered conceptually was doing it with like chicken or tofu or shrimp. It could be anything, right? So anything you see, you can always substitute. Like Christy eats pescatarian, vegetarian. So anything she sees, if it's going to be beef, what are you going to substitute it with? Maybe tofu, right? First thing that comes to her mind. What else might you substitute a chicken dish with?
Fish.
Yeah. Or
Shrimp.
yeah, right? Anything. So there's so many options. Like, don't be limited to these ideas thinking, oh, I got to go find halloumi. You know, like to me, I saw this dish and I saw the idea. I was like, wow, I'm going to take a watermelon. I'm going to grill it. I'm actually going to hollow out a little bit of it. I'm going to chop it up and make it a little dressing with it, but I'm going to put some greens on the inside. It's going to be on a big platter for the family, right? I'm going to have some grilled chicken, fish, whatever on the outside, and it's going to be awesome. And think of how fast that is. Boom, watermelon on the grill, olive oil, okay? My chicken's on there. Here I am getting my greens out of the box. I'm serious. Like, this is how fast it's going to be. I already have a bottle of balsamic vinaigrette, that I'm going to do. And it's grilled, done, on the plate. Put the salad on the inside because I'm going to toss that super quick. Drizzle a little stuff around the outside, serve my chicken, done. I mean, it really is that simple. Don't complicate it. Don't make it crazy. Don't forget to salt and pepper your chicken. Okay, what about a version on a caprese? What about grilling some watermelon and doing it with like a little mozzarella, a little balsamic, a little basil? Why not, right? Like, change it up. Have a little bit of fun. Okay, and great thing to do with watermelon or any fruit like that that makes sense. Take a cookie cutter and cut out shapes because it makes it way, way cooler. Right? Seriously, anything. Totally. Star. Okay. Kebabs. Kebabs are so much fun to make, like together. If you're ever doing them by yourself for a bunch of people, it's a lot of work. Seriously, if you've done like 40 kebabs before, 50, you've skewered yourself like 17 times. It's not so much fun. But when you have friends over and you're just kind of doing it together, like let's say you have friends over to cook. Chop up the stuff. That's nice. It's easy. And then all you have to do is get together and set a little assembly line. Boom, you'll have tons of kebabs made in 2 seconds to do with your kids, do with your family. Like kebabs are really fun to make and very, very versatile. So Kevin was talking earlier about pineapple on a kebab. I love that. I love peppers. I love onions. Tomatoes don't hold up so well on kebabs. You got to kind of think about some of the vegetables that tend to fall off. The vegetables that hold up a little bit better, are a little better. But there's a lot of things like on kebabs that work great for marinades. But for me, I look at Asian marinades. I don't really worry so much about the fat content of a marinade when I'm grilling because, again, I know a lot of it's going to end up in the grill. When I'm cooking in a pan, totally different philosophy. So, but, getting away from that, not stressing over it, I use most often olive oil, fresh garlic, and parsley, salt and pepper. Like that's my number one marinade go-to. It makes just everything good. From there, I'll add in things like Dijon mustard. I'll add in things like Worcestershire, soy sauce, whatever I want to do. But like that's my foundation. And then other marinades, I just buy whatever I feel like. But kebabs are awesome. Shrimp kebabs, so great and easy. And again, picking veggies, like for me, I'd be very considerate of doing a smaller onion on there because onions don't cook as quickly. And I don't want that bitter edginess of onion. So, and for me, if I were doing this, I took this photo off the internet, but I would have my onions more to the outside because those things cook faster. I might end cap it with like 2 pieces of onions because the end part cooks the most. And then do my other stuff in the middle because, it cooks. You can do sweet potatoes on your skewer. So those of you who love sweet potatoes, something fun to think about. That would want to be on a skewer that takes longer to cook, like chicken. You don't want to do it on a shrimp because it just won't be cooked enough. But that's kebabs. So then some other fun things, just concepts. Again, shrimp. Shrimp is so versatile. It takes on like tofu or chicken, any flavor that you want. So here it is with a little bit of tomato, a little bit of mango. You could be using pineapple. You could be using strawberries, anything. I love that. I love shrimp and avocado. Shrimp and avocado are really, really harmonious. And lemon always brightens up shrimp. But shrimp are so easy, and if you go buy them at Sam's Club or anything, I look for not cooked. So if they're pink already, they're cooked. Don't buy the pink ones because then you're cooking it twice and it sucks. I buy the peeled and deveined ones because I don't want to do that work. And then what I do is they're frozen. So I take the shrimp and I put them in a bowl, and I turn the water on my faucet, and I slowly I fill the bowl with water first, and I slowly run water so the water is constantly moving so no bacteria can move, and I turn it on very low, and it thaws the shrimp in like 5 minutes. So frozen to thawed, ready to cook in 5 minutes, and it cooks fast. So then while that's going, timing, right, I'm prepping my veggies. I'm cutting up my stuff, getting ready to go because it's really easy. Whole salmon. So whole salmon is so easy to do for friends. It's so simple. For me, I do a lot of salmon with Asian flavors. It's just soy. I do a little brown sugar because, again, a lot of it's going to come off on there. It caramelizes beautifully. But I do some amazing salmon, and I'll do it over like a cucumber salad. Just take a cucumber, and you can use a peeler and just keep peeling long strips of it. Makes a beautiful salad. I'm going to put a really fun recipe out in the next couple days on my Facebook page or the Fit 180 page. But I have this cucumber mirin, ridiculous, amazing salad recipe that's so simple and delicious. And the color contrast of that and the salmon is awesome. And you can buy these whole sides of salmon at like Sam's and Costco, and they're fresh. They go through a ton of products, so you're good there. And it's inexpensive. It's easy. Flank steak. So again, you can cook a lot of things that aren't super expensive. I mean, ribeye is my favorite cut of beef. I just don't eat it very often. I love filet, but you're talking $18.99 a pound. My prime ribeye is around the same price point. So using something like flank steak at $6.99 a pound, it's awesome. The only thing about things like this is, number one, I like to marinate them because it breaks down the protein a little more. And number two is you just got to cut it properly, okay? There's a grain to the meat. And if it's a long piece of flank steak like this, the grain is going this way, and just little thin slices make it tender. If you do thick slices, because you're like, oh man, I want a thick piece, it's chewy and tough. You want thin little slices, and then it's fork tender. It doesn't have to be a fancy piece of meat to be delicious. I buy London broil, and I do the same thing. I'll grill it like a steak, but then I'll make really thin slices. If I try to eat a big bite of it, and I work it out my jaw is going to get swole. So I'm not about swole jaw. So swole jaw. That was good. That was funny. So here we are, tofu, grilled tofu. Tofu's freaking free. Seriously, organic tofu is like $1.50, $2. Okay, what a great protein. When we're on a budget and watching our money. The one thing I've noticed, I don't know about you, but when I meal prep, I save a ton of money. Right? From like buying stuff for yourself before anything, you pay like 1/5, 1/6 making your own meals, and they're way better, and they're healthy, and they're clean. Tofu is a great option. And it just takes on any and every flavor. So, I really think about that when I'm doing it. And then pesto is something I used to love and use a lot. Pesto is super high in calories. Like those little teeny jars that are like $8. They have, you're like, oh, cool, it's only like 150 calories a serving. Well, in that little jar is like 12 servings. I don't even know how you fit that in there, but it's like 12. But as a marinade in chicken, I can do it because all that fat is going to leach off. The flavor is going to be imparted into the chicken. I can do that. Okay, I'm not going to do it as a sauce, but here we are with some mushrooms and some tomatoes. How simple. I look at this dish and I think also maybe I'm going to add a can of like northern beans, those big white beans, into it. Fun texture. I do salads with those beans and then the steak on the top. But, grilling should just be fun. It should be free. You should really do anything. And salt and pepper, olive oil, you're good. It's going to be awesome. So that is grilling by Scott Parker. Thank you. Any questions? Yes, sir. So a couple things about seasoning. It depends on what your sodium needs are or what you don't want to get sodium-wise. I mean, you can really watch it there. When you do grill, a lot of the seasoning comes off onto the grill. So you might notice if you season the same way when you're seasoning a chicken breast as you would in a pan, it doesn't have the same pop and flavor because you need to do a lot more. So don't be too shy, but there's so many good seasonings that are also, if you don't want sodium and you're really looking to shred, you can look at all these Mrs. Dash and Emerald makes a bazillion. There's so many good ones. I mean, I just look at them and unless they have monosodium glutamate or some other, there's very few that have that anymore. My son the other day bought this noodle dish and he was all excited. I was like, this is so amazing. And I tasted one bite. I'm like, this has MSG. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, this is why this tastes so freaking amazing. Like, it has MSG. And we look on it, of course, MSG. But other than that, like, have fun. There's so many Cajun ones. Blackening. I love blackening seasoning. Blackening seasoning is great. Do you have a couple favorites you love?
I use flavor guy.
Flavor guy?
Flavor guy.
God?
But sometimes I'm like, I just go crazy.
Yeah.
Just
Do.
take everything down.
Because seriously, think about it. Garlic, parsley, paprika, cayenne, whatever it is, they don't have any calories. They don't have any negative thing. Like, go hog wild. Chili powder, yes.
What's the shelf life of your seasons, your paprikas and cayennes?
You really, I want to say you'd have to look at the jar. I want to say they're like 2 years at most. And things lose their flavor. Like, for example, I talk about truffle oil in some of my other cooking classes. Truffle oil is amazing, but it loses its flavor and aromatics within 6 months to a year. It's done. So shelf life on those things is the same. It's not high. So what I do is I think it's Thanksgiving, one time a year, they always have a sale where everything's buy one, get one free or more than half off, sometimes 75% off. And I just restock. I just buy a bunch. I spend $30 once. And then the only things I buy continuously throughout the year at Sprouts, I buy the dried parsley for when I make eggs and other things, and I don't have fresh parsley at home. And I buy granulated garlic, and I buy like copious amounts of that. And other than that, everything else I buy once every year, once every 2 years, and I just replenish. Because so often, again, recipes, you buy something for a recipe, and you never, ever use it again. And you end up finding it back in the very back when you're looking for something in your cabinet. You're like, oh, what was that? Oh, yeah, I used it for that one thing 7 years ago. So I don't know. I think keep rotating it and just buy something and use it. Have fun with it, and then if you don't like it, don't buy it again. Any other questions? No? Awesome. I look forward to seeing your grilled watermelon photos before we talk next. Thank you all for plugging in.